Welcome in, everyone. This is our weekly flow alerts recap. This is for the week of 6/3 to 6/7, and we're going to go over the flow alerts that we had in Stock Hub, and we had a fantastic week. There's only one so far that has not made a move yet. So let's get started here. So first up, June 3rd, we had ORCL calls come in. On the 628 130 calls, 136 for the spot, premium of 132K. Can see that chain was 100% ask side. Looking at the flow when it came in, again, can see based on that volume, it's an opening trade. That net call premium was spiking. And quickly looking at the movement here, it was a phenomenal move, and this is a good example of a whale exiting as well. So here is the whale entry here, 140. They exited at 278, and it actually ended up topping out at 325 today. I'll pull up the contract here, but you can see again, here is, actually I'm going to bump it down a little bit more so you can see. So perfect example here. This whale is entering here, 1,451 contracts. You can see the bid side coming in here, roughly about the same, and when you add up the bid and ask. So that is that whale exiting, and again, perfect example here. Can see that minus 1,400 or so contracts here this morning, so perfect example there. And looking at the contract, so ORCL, these came in on 6/3. 6/3, here is your whale entry down here at 136, and these hit 325 today. That whale didn't hold that long again. So the full range of this trade was 136 to 325 for 138%. So moving on here, next we had SBUX that expired this week. This was another good trade for us. Ask side SBUX 81 calls at 99 at the ask, 177K in premium. Pretty much ask side there. Looking at that bid side that you saw there where it wasn't the full 100%, obviously you can see some bid side stuff there, so that's what that was. Looking at the ask side candle that came in, huge whale there, and we had 1,700 contracts here, so there's that whale. Net call premium spiking again there as well. And looking at SBUX here, here is our whale on 6/3 entering at right here, we'll say 1. These actually did spike to 219 same day. So let me pull up the chart here. So 6/3. So here's our whale right here. You can see their candle. So 99 was their entry, and see if it's gonna let me. 99, and these actually did touch 266 on the next day because we gapped up. So they hit 266. So that's 168% for that high range. And again, even in today, 7th, you can see the date there, they were running about 50%, 159. So sat about 50-70% for a good amount of time there. And let me just pull up that flow one more time here on SBUX. So here's your whale entry, and again, I always like clicking on the candle here. Can see that whale volume coming in here. Let's see, it's gonna be, let me pull it up here. So SBUX, let's see if it's gonna, so it's gonna only show me all, so it's gonna show you like that, but obviously you can see, and I believe the IV was increasing on this one. I don't want to dig too deep into that in this video, but we'll check it on the next flow alert that came in. So that SBUX full range was 0.99 to 266, 168%. So moving on, we had Apple. So again, Apple calls coming in on the ask side. Good size, good premium. Again, bid ask here, and I will show everybody here on that. So obviously, again, you can see this is where some of that bid side was coming in, and it's not on that specific whale, which if it was on the specific whale coming in, then kind of ignore that. That's how I look at it. Here's your whale entry. Your net call premium spiking again as well. Call volume up there. And looking at this one, so here's your whale entry here, 0.75. And again, these hit 0.93 here. And I believe they actually topped out at about 1. Let's pull this up here. So we're still looking at the third. So the third right here, it looks like. So yep, here's your whale. 0.75 was their entry. These topped out at 1 here on 6.5. Twice they topped out at 1. So that's a 33% return there. And looking at the flow, let me close this one out. Apple, so looking at the flow. Come in here, obviously this is something I like to see. Here you can see IV increases here. Spot price kind of stayed the same. Obviously it didn't drop at all, but IV's increasing. That's one part that I like to look at. And moving on to, let's see, what do we have next? So we had SPY flow, and this was probably the best trade of the week percent-wise, just a little more than SBUX. So this came on the interval flow. So we had hits coming in on the 621, 532 call. This was 95% of the volume on this chain. 4.72 million for premium, which is huge. 16,000 contracts. And again, oh, why am I looking at Mara? Here we go. Sorry. So 16,000. Obviously, this is an opening contract or an opening position. Just there was 6,000 contracts on that chain against 17,000 volume that came in. So this whale is opening a position. Net call or net put premium was down a bit. Net call premium was bid side, but you could see SPY kind of coming up here a little bit. So looking at the flow here. So here's your entry, 291 all the way up to 793, and these did actually touch 802 today. Just quickly show the contract here. So here's your whale entry on the third, and I have to condense this a little bit. So obviously we can see we chopped, came up, and then we topped out at 803, 802 today, which, so those would have ran 291 to 802, so 175% there, probably the best percent gain of the week. So up next we have, actually I want to look at the contract here just to kind of see how it looked. Where is my SPY? We'll just look here. So here's that whale. You can obviously see IV is increasing here. That spot price is increasing, so good signs there. That's what checks it off on my list. That's what I'm looking for, is IV increasing, spot price increasing there. You can see it's multiple trades coming in, not just one big block of trades. So moving on here, we have Mara next. So Mara, we had ask side calls on the 7/12/25. Again, opening position, can see that with the lock there. Size was 500. There was only 400 or 40 open interest contracts on that one at the time. 72K in premium. You can see that here. All ask side volume on the day, pretty much a little bid side. Again, no multi-leg. Net call premium spiking. Lots of call volume coming in. So here we are. So 144 was their average. These ended up touching 162, 170, I believe. And it actually looks like today they may be closing out. We got about 2,000 contracts, we'll say here. Would probably assume this is that whale cutting their loss down here at 88. So, but these were in profit. So, taking a peek here, let's look at the contract. So Mara entry right here, 144, hitting 170, which is a 18% return, a little below. I typically like to see 20%, but 18% is still a good return. Should always be adjusting up stops on that. If you're up 20% on something, usually that's a good return. 18, 20%, I mean, it's a good return. So those are there, and it looks like that whale did cut, so would obviously say check that open interest and volume on Monday just to see, because it could be somebody opening here at the ask and closing there as well, but again, would have to check on Monday to verify. So up next we have, so Mara there, just some more notes. So C, we had some in the money 60 calls. New position here, 128K, 249 at the spot. Again, clean opening position. Big spike in net call premium. Looking at the movement here. So 249 entry. They hit about 310-ish. Let's see. So I got 310 on today. So we are looking at a little over 23%, so 24.5% on those. And again, looking at the contract here, which I always like to do. Here's your whale entry at 249, 312 hitting right there. And let's take a peek at the flow quick. So C. Oh, why? Okay, there we go. Not cooperating with me today on a Friday. So looking at the flow. Here's the flow that came in. Let me bump this out. So again, can see that spot price here increasing. It's a good sign. IV increasing, 29.33, 29.48. IV is increasing. That's a good sign to me. So that's what the flow looked like there on C at the time. So moving on to SHLS, just shoals, or shoots, whatever you want to call it. So 621, 7.5 call. These had the 0.05 bid ask, so you got to bid up to that 0.45. So 2,000 contracts, 90K. And this made a very quick move actually. So here's your clean entry. Net call premium spiked, call volume up. So these actually ran intraday, and can see that whale entry here, 0.45 there, and these hit 55. So 45 to 55, 22% intraday return, not bad at all, and would have had enough time to adjust up there. And looking at the flow quick. So here's your flow. 46 here, and again they hit 55 right here very quick. Looks like that whale may be cutting some losses here at 30. So again, the whale was in profits and just thought we'd keep going a little bit. Looks like they're down a little bit. Obviously you can see that plus minus on the open interest today. So whale was 32, probably cut half of their position, it looks like. So that is that one, which shoals did run 0.45 to 55, 22%, good trade. Should be adjusting up stops. So a couple more DraftKings, we had 719.40 call, 103,000 for premium, 1,000 contracts. Looking at this again, all ask side volume, very, very low multi-leg, clean entry, net call premium spiking, call volume up. Puts were up a little bit, put premium was up a little bit, but nothing too serious or where I'd confuse me as much. So let's take a peek. DraftKings, here's your entry 101. These hit 134, I believe, 135-ish. So again, whale looks like they're still in about break even right now. So looking at the contract, DraftKings, here's your whale, 103 hit 134. So 103, 134, 30%, good trade. TMUS, this was a public free idea that I posted as well. So I'm just going to kind of show the contract on this one. This one moved again pretty quick. So here is your whale entry at 2, running about 298. Again, looking at the flow, this was almost perfect to a T of what I like to see. You have IV increasing all the way up. Spot price increasing all the way up. So pretty big bid ask here. So this whale was being aggressive here, and obviously that spot price increasing is a good sign. Looking at the contract quick. Whoops. Why are you being goofy to me, Weeble? So whale entry right here, 6.6, 205, hit about 311 on that big drop. We'll say 308. So about 50% return in less than 25 minutes on that one. We have an open Dollar General one. These are 106 days out. They are they're still in, but we'll just take a quick peek at that one. So Dollar General, obviously they're still in. Here's your whale. These are further out contracts. Like I say, it's harder to kind of read these intra-week when they're 100 days out. So sometimes they make a quick move, sometimes they don't. But so our last one is CORZ, and then it's time to go have a CORZ after this. So where are we? Discord. So CORZ. We had 929 call, and again, this was a further out one, and this is what I mean by some make a quick move, which I'll show. So 754,000 for 7,100 contracts. Again, all ask side. Looking at this, clean big entry. We did have some ask side flow before, and your net call premiums were up. And just quickly looking at the contract here. We'll come back here. So your entry 111 here, 111, 105, and these are running at about 147, 150 right now. So about 42, almost 43% on those, and we'll look at the contract quick. Entry right here 105, running 150 actually. They hit 150 today, so 42% there. So that is our unusual whales recap for the week of June 3rd to June 7th. Phenomenal week. If you're interested in joining Stock Hub, where I post all of these, and also I'll just show everybody else one more thing. Typically on the ones that don't make intraday moves, I will also come here and I kind of like to chart them out for stuff. So like here's our Dollar General one. So come out here, chart it out. But if they make a 15% move intraday, I don't like chasing anything that's up that much. So, but yeah, we do a lot of charting in here, kind of touch on a lot of the flow and stuff. So that is all I have for everybody. And again, yep, if you're interested in trying unusual whales, also I do have a discount code that I will drop in the description below. Have a great weekend, everyone.